Let's move on to our team selection then. Lynch was saying before, big midfield questions for Jurgen Klopp, so let's get into it. Alisson in goal, but he's shaved off the moustache, hasn't he, guys?
Yeah, drop him.
What a dreamboat. What a dreamboat. He's the only person who can have a beard, a moustache, and then be clean shaven and looks that good, with the exception of me.
Right, moving on. Defence. Doyley, what's the back four going to be?
Right, I keep on saying Simicast every single week, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
I do feel as though he has to play at some points, but this is the one where I'm going to say he's not going to play. I think the back four's just got to be the back four. Simple as that.
I was going to say maybe Robertson. I think he maybe got off a bit lightly with his performance on Tuesday. Maybe this is the game to drop him for. Lynchy, what about you? Are you going to go with the usual tried and trusted now? Played all 5 games together?
I would quite like to see Simicast come in for a game just because I think, it would be nice to see him. And I think Robertson's form was poor, wasn't he, on Tuesday? And just to give him a rest going into that Real Madrid rematch, I think would be quite good. But I just don't expect it, to be honest. I think he's going to go with the same back four and he wants to get rhythm into that back four. Or, considering he played about 50-odd games on the bounce, I think he's going to stick with it. Yeah.
Yeah, Ben Davis and Simicast just on the touchline doing keep ball with each other.
Well, as a question, somebody was asking me this. Is there any chance that Fabinho could go back to centre-back ahead of the Real Madrid game? Because he play there against Real Madrid? Yeah. Does anybody think there's anything in that? Because, my answer was no. But
I don't think so, because in the Real Madrid game, Liverpool need to get goals. I think he might help sturdy things up defensively, but actually one of his real underrated qualities is those balls forward from deep, isn't it? And I think Liverpool are going to need him actually as much of an attacking Arsenal on the pitch as they can. And I think he's better in that position, therefore, in midfield.
Plus, you would then have to put Keita in midfield, wouldn't you, if you put Fabinho in defence? And I don't think Jurgen Klopp wants to do that anymore.
There's loads of midfielders that could play.
Curtis Jones.
It's a big ask of him, though, isn't it?
I think he's proven this season that he deserves a go. I think.
Yeah.
And if anyone's going to love it, it'll be him, won't it?
Yeah.
Anyway,
man for the big occasion.
The midfield for Villa.
Well, can you go to Lynchy? Could be Curtis, couldn't it? Yeah.
Can you go to Lynchy first?
Lynchy, you go first, mate.
I think because he'll be worried about the way that the midfield played on Tuesday, and I think he'll think there's enough gap between the games. I think he might go with the same against Villa as he goes against Real Madrid, and I think that could be then Fabinho, Thiago, and Wijnaldum, and then obviously if he can then make some changes early on and get Curtis Jones on or get James Milner on just to make sure those players are fresh. But I think having mixed it up what he had as a unit there, I think he'll want to get it settled and sorted before the Real Madrid game if he can, because he's not going to go with the same three, is he? So yeah, I think it might sort of pick itself, and that'd be his strongest midfield on paper, which would be Thiago, Wijnaldum and Fabinho.
I know we're a sort of full decade without a goal at Anfield, but I reckon Milner comes into the midfield maybe for Wijnaldum.
Well, my team is going to be 4-2-3-1 because I think they're going to go 4-2-3-1 against Real Madrid, but not with these players. The two I'm going to pick against Villa are Fabinho and Milner. Milner on the left side, Fabinho on the right. And then the one that joins up with the front three, probably Curtis Jones.
Yeah, I reckon that can play in a 4-3-3 anyway, can't it? Because Milner did get fooled quite a lot against Arsenal. Now Arsenal were pretty much on their goal line the whole game, but he did have that shot in the first half. But anyway, Doyley, come back to you then for the forward three. Who's your 2 and 1 in the 4-2-3-1?
Well, I think it's yes. What you mean the wide players will be Jota and Salah, and up front will be Firmino.
Mane dropped. Lynchy, you going along with that?
I think you might keep Mane in for this one and drop him for the Real Madrid game. So maybe Salah, Mane, Firmino, and then he makes the big call against Real Madrid, and Jota starts on the left hand side maybe.
Do you think the thing with the 4 players he's got at the top end of the pitch with Jota, I think they started once together against Manchester City and Jota came off after an hour, or did they start the game?
No, I think they started against Sheffield United.
Yeah. And went 1-0 behind in that game though, didn't they?
Well, against Sheffield United, I'm pretty sure they changed it at half time or certainly did badly in the second half. And against City worked out after 25 minutes. So
I was going to say the point I was going to make on it though is do you think it's been far more effective having the four of them on the pitch when any one of them, normally Jota, has come onto the pitch and they've then gone to a four, as opposed to the four of them all starting? If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think it's a better option when you change to it mid-game rather than starting out with it. I think, because I think that those cagey moments early in the game and the fact that teams will do everything they can to restrict space in the early moments, particularly across the first half. To have the four of them just getting in each other's way with the little space that's there already it becomes a bit of a problem. I think when you introduce it late in the game, spaces are opening up, players are getting tired, and there's just a little bit more chaos going on. And I think it really suits them to do that, which is maybe what would keep him from going with all four in the sort of the second leg against Real Madrid. He would maybe think that it's best to go with whatever he thinks his first choice three is, and then change it from there.
Yeah, right. What about match results then? Liverpool 6 defeats in a row. Something about the number 7 with Aston Villa this season. It's not going to be a 7th defeat in a row, is it, Doyley?
Well, technically speaking, they've won the last home game against.
Yeah, they're in great form at home.
Yeah, they're in a great. It's brilliant at home. Yeah. Do you mean
Anfield, Puskás Arena?
Yes, Anfield. I think that as I will be there, and I cannot cope with another unbelievably boring game, I will go with 3-2 for Liverpool.
By the way, on the Puskás Arena, we've got Anfield South being Wembley, Anfield West maybe being Millennium Stadium. Is that Anfield East out in Budapest?
Yes.
Anfield East in Europe, yeah. I go with that. Yeah.
Yeah, happy days. Lynchy, what about the match result for you?
I fancy Liverpool to bounce back. I think they were very good against Arsenal. It's quite easy to forget that Real Madrid are just quite good, aren't they? And Aston Villa are not as good as Real Madrid. So surely Liverpool can win this one and sort of get themselves right in that top 4 race. So I'm going to go 2-0.
Yeah, hopefully that is the case. Hopefully we've lifted spirits as well on this edition of the Blood Red podcast as Liverpool look to go to end that open play goal drought at Anfield. You can make sure you keep across everything that Doyley is up to at Anfield on match day in the Liverpool Echoes.
Not everything.
No, I thought everything went in the live blog. Well, that will be the live blog, of course, across on the Liverpool Echo website. We'll be here with the debrief on the Blood Red channel after the game, as well as Jurgen Klopp's post-match reaction. But thanks for joining us. Thanks for your time and your company. That's all for now.